So this thing has gotten out of hand, this thing with the guns and the hysteria and the crises. CNN has now crossed over. Remember when Donald Trump said that these people are the enemy of the people? They're the enemy of the people. They have crossed over into a kind of disgusting craziness. They are using the traumatized children of this disaster to push gun control. They're feeding them lines. Let's just take a look at that montage. Did I send you that montage? Yeah, let's just play this montage of them coaching these poor kids to sell their agenda.
Do you have a message for the lawmakers? Do you have a message for Congress, for the president?
Yeah. David, we wanted to have you back because your interview yesterday got a lot of attention with us because you made this personal appeal. I mean, you just looked at the camera and you said to everybody listening, we're children, you're adults. Figure this out. Children are dying. Did you hear from any leaders? Did you hear from anybody in power after that yesterday?
Some people who say there's nothing you can do to stop somebody if they want to kill. They're going to find a gun no matter the law. As a 16-year-old student who just went through this in your community with your friends, what would you say to the adults?
I want to read one of the president's tweets from over the weekend. He wrote, I'm wondering what you think of this tweet and others from the president this week.
Look, and we have examples of other countries that have done more and have passed national gun control laws, and guess what? Gun violence went down.
Shocking.
Do you think that you and your friends are going to finally do what it takes to make a difference on this issue?
What I would like to do is I would like to bring in some traumatized kids from the ghettos of Chicago and Baltimore and St. Louis and New Orleans, cities that haven't been run by a Republican since the Jurassic Age. I'd like to bring in some of the kids, the relatives of the kids who are being killed there every single night by stolen guns, by guns gotten illegally. And I'd like to ask them, shouldn't we have a city that's run by Republicans? Wouldn't you prefer to have your city run by Republicans? Wouldn't you prefer if your mom had married your dad? Wouldn't you prefer if the culture of drugs weren't sweeping over your neighborhoods? It's disgusting. It is disgusting what they are doing. And it's not the kids' fault, obviously, and I'm sure their parents and they are hearing from psychologists saying, well, it's good that they're talking about it. It may be good that they're talking about it, but not on CNN and not being used to express an opinion. People's opinions change between the time they're 16 and the time they're 25. They may not want to go back and see that they went on TV saying something that they no longer agree with. And remember, it's not that people don't have a right to be opposed to the Second Amendment and the God-given right to defend yourself. They do have a right to be opposed to that. It's that they're not giving them a chance to hear the other side of the argument, to hear the side about freedom. I mean, CNN is the same place where they told us that the lady in North Korea was winning PR victories over Mike Pence, the vice president of a free country. I mean, they're saying stuff about Donald Trump. There was an article in the Washington Post by an assistant professor at the University of Richmond where he was comparing Trump to Perón, the Argentine dictator, Juan Perón. And we've seen Evita, this is like this communist dictator, and saying, oh, Trump is much worse. Trump is much worse. Perón did some good things. He did some good things. And as I was saying yesterday, we know that fascists can do some good things. They used to say the Nazis made they said Mussolini, the fascists made the trains run on time. Fascists do good things. Kings do good things. Communists do good things. But you're not free when you have those people running your country. So this is a question of freedom versus slavery. And as long as we got people like CNN who think freedom is slavery, we want our guns. And the other thing about this is, again, they're using emotion to tell us there is a crisis. And I'm sorry, but I'm taking this from an article today in the Wall Street Journal by John Carlson. The number of guns in America rose nearly 50% between 1993 and 2013. During the same period, gun homicides fell by nearly 50%. The notion that more guns mean more crime is simplistic and false. And the fact that crime is going up, that these shootings are going up. Here's from USA Today. Since 1990, there have been 22 shootings at elementary and secondary schools in which 2 or more people were killed, not counting those perpetrators who committed suicide. Whereas 5 of these incidents have occurred over the past 5+ years since 2013, claiming the lives of 27 victims, 17 at Parkland. The latter half of the 1990s decade witnessed 7 multiple fatality shootings with a total of 33 killed, 13 at Columbine. So it's not a crisis. It's a tragedy, and they're using the tragedy, your emotions that are naturally ginned up during a tragedy, as they should be. They're using those emotions to make you feel it's a crisis because they know that in a crisis you might do something stupid like give up your right to defend yourself. And